Good man, Robbie. It's good to see you. It's a much better system. He's a bit hollow, busting with mastitis. A sad outcome. The lambs are dead. So we've expanded. Welcome back. Today is a quieter day at the minute, but I have a funny feeling it will all kick off. Last night there was only 2 sheep lambed. The night before there was 8. So oddly enough, quiet last night. Can't explain why, but there we go. So what are we up to? Well, you'll see there is no silage in front of the sheep here at all. It's all cleaned back. I got a couple of lads to clean away the leftover silage, which there was very little of. There wouldn't be maybe a wheelbarrow or 2 of kind of dusty stuff. Some of that dust from the bedding gets into it as well. So I just get the lads to throw it into the pen and I bed across it. It's just easier than trying to scrape it out and heap it up somewhere. So it ends up in along with the bedding and is spread then at the end of the year. So first job is have to get the little tractor, the gutsy little tractor out, and then have a round bale here and a little digger. I'll just show you, I showed you in the last video how I was bedding and the way that was working. I'll give you a look at how I get the bale out, how I feed the bale. We'll get to it. The silage is actually quite good. I'll just give you a look here. It's quite good, no fussed. Still have that little bit of black on top, but it's only the top skin of it. As somebody mentioned, possibly the real heat we had last May, where the plastic got really hot and was inclined to cook the tops of the bales. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. But the bales are pretty good. Not much fussed. If I do find something like this, I am pulling it out and trying to avoid as much as possible that they're not. We haven't had any listeriosis yet, because I have had experience of it. It's not a nice one to find your sheep going down. So thankfully we're avoiding that one this year anyway. That's the feeding done. Give you a look at some of the problems next door. Now, if you remember, in the shed when we were housing the sheep, we had a sheep, the first sheep that went down with low calcium levels. She was happy enough. She was eating a bit of meal. A sad outcome. She has aborted and it is not nice looking, but I'll just give you a quick look at it. 2, would say full-term lambs, but they're not, they're dead is basically it. The lambs are dead. She was a little bit sickish of herself, no high temperature, but she is not really in good shape. It's not a happy outcome anyway. You will have a certain percentage of this, generally more so at the start of lambing. One of those things in sheep farming. What do? Head up and keep going. Now, another little problem I just want to show you. It might seem like all problems, but yes, you will have a certain amount of them, especially this time of year. But we have a good few sheep and lambs let out. The lads here, Cian and Peter, let out a lot of sheep and lambs today. Hopefully happy outcomes there. But I don't really want to show you just the good stuff. I'm sure you want to see some of the problems we're having as well and how we're dealing with them, because if it's all roses, and I know anybody lambing sheep has their own problems at home, so I'll just give you a look at some of mine. A lovely sheep, we tagged up yesterday with 2 lovely ewe lambs, ready to let her out today, and I just thought the lambs looked a bit empty, a bit hungry looking. Now the lambs are fine, but they're just a bit hungry. You can see, if you want to see a hungry lamb, you'll see a bit of a dip here. That's a good sign if he's hungry. He's a bit hollow here. This one the same. You see they're straight in for a suck, so they're hungry. Probably not ideal, they're sucking, because this sheep is busting with mastitis. She is busting. So unfortunately she is a write-off now. She can't produce milk anymore. She will be lucky to survive. So we'll have to pull them 2 lambs off, get them onto the feeder, because she will, if she survives, she'll probably go black and get gangrene in her udder. It's a nasty one. Generally get 3, 4, maybe 5 cases where they go stiff like that. It's not nice. But what are we doing? So we give her Metacam under the skin. That helps with the swelling and the pain. Very, very painful. The other thing is pen strap. Pen strap for 3, maybe 4 days into the muscle. 6 milliliters is what my vet has recommended, and generally it will save them if you get them in time, but it's a nasty one. Now, so we're just setting up Pet's corner here. The lads are just bedding it out here. We'll get the feeder set up probably here in the corner, and a bit of work to do to get it ready. So this is it up here. We'll get it pulled down, give it a bit of a wash. I was delaying this as long as I could. Probably should have had it ready for the problem, but we're just going to put it on the sink here. This is the downside to the straw chopper. Dust. Dust is unbelievable in the shed, and the stuff I'm using probably doesn't help, but even with straw I think they're pretty dusty. Another little job is we might do later on is the camera itself. I'm not sure if you're able to see that. It's in the middle of the shed here, and it is covered in dust as well. So the problem I'm facing is the lens on the camera has actually got very dirty. I'll show you. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the lens itself has got a layer of dust on it. Robbie will be out later. He has a little ESB tool which might do the job for us on that. We'll get to that after. We'll get this feeder down and see what we have to do with it to get it ready. So the first job is these metal hinges. The lid is actually almost seized a bit. You'll see there's just an ordinary hinge on the back here. Get a bit of oil on them. So this tin and stuff is free in oil, but it's actually the stuff I use for ARF. It's extremely good at killing ARF. I find it very effective. Even on ewes that have it on their spins or their teats around this time of year, very good stuff. The first job is give it a bit of a clean up. It is pretty dirty from being parked up in the shed here all winter, so a bit of soapy water, give it a scrub. So this is a feeder. If you haven't seen the video of how it works, so I'll pop the link in the description. This is the thumbnail for it. A very, very, very useful feeder around this time of year when you have lambs and not much time for making bottles. I find it one of the more useful things in the shed. So a little bit like the laundry, I am a fully domesticated sheep farmer. As you can see, I'm well fit to do a bit of cleaning here, or I might disagree, but we'll keep going. Now, so I just have my little helper, Ada has just arrived. Yeah. Ada is getting excited. We're gathering up a few pet lambs here. We have 3 here. I'm just going to make a couple of modifications to this. So I'm going to put another teat here. I have another teat here, but I'm going to put another one here. So I'm just going to mark this. So I'm just using this teat holder here, same one as this. I'll give you a look at it now. So this feeder is my homemade ad-lib, semi-automatic ad-lib feeder. A very simple feeder that it's not very complicated. A couple of modifications on it here. I'm using these caps, replace these nuts. We'll give you a look at that in a minute. So I've just fixed the other teat here. You'll see what the pipe comes inside. This is my drum full of hot water here. And then the non-return valve actually has to hang pretty vertical here. Might be a bit noisy here, but this pipe fits onto this. Get that pushed on. Lovely job. There we go. The next job is a coil. I'm going to fit the coil inside the drum here. So I just put a piece of pipe onto the coil here. It's a little bit tight, so I have my water warmed up and all in the drum already. I'm just going to soften the pipe in the warm water. There we go, nice and soft. Slip it on here. Now, so there we go. I'll just cut this piece of pipe. There it is. The little filter for the end of the pipe with a little white gauze, I just put it's an M12 or 12mm nut onto that, and it acts as a little bit of a weight to hold it down in the bottom of the milk bucket. And there we go. The next job is this pipe here. Now, there we go. So what have we got? So we have this teat here. So this is the back of that teat. So you see it there. So this is the back here. Non-return valve, that generally has to hang down vertical. The heat transfer coil drops inside here. We'll just make a bit of space for here. So that drops inside the drum here, into the hot water, and then this end of it here drops into the bucket of milk. So the idea is that as the lamb sucks the teat here, the milk is drawn up this tube into the coil here, in through the coil, which is down in the hot water, and the milk is warmed as it runs through the coil up here and out through the teat. So it just means that the only milk that's warmed up is as it's passed through the coil. Some of the other feeders that sit with the milk warm all the time, I'm not sure it's the nicest thing in the world. Milk soon goes off sitting at whatever temperature it is. So this system means a lot less cleaning, and it's quite easy to change over to cold as well if you want. But another little feature, anybody that's fed pet lambs will be familiar with this, tits that have been ripped off. It's a regular problem with older, heavier lambs heading for 12-15 kilos. Ripping teats off when one lamb pucks the other one, and it's just a mess. I found myself actually putting on a new teat every day, so I have a solution. So these, the standard operation for these teat holders is like this. You have a nut here. So this is the way they normally operate, and you tighten up your nut, and then your teat is exposed, which is quite good. It's a good system. It's very easy to change the teat, but as I said, the problem is the teat doesn't last very long. So what's the alternative? I'll just give you a look here now. So the nut becomes obsolete on the new system, and this device here, which is a protector cap, the teat is fed into the cap. So your teat, as you can see, is inside that, and then that replaces your nut. So there we go. It's a much better system. A lamb can't get in to push the other lamb off. the teats are less inclined to get damaged. I was finding I could get a couple of weeks out of a teat with maybe 15 lambs pulling off it, so it definitely saves a lot of teats and the hassle of lambs going hungry. That was the biggest problem I found. But this cap will actually fit on any of the feeders, the shepherdess, yoke to lamb feeder, Volac feeder. It will replace this nut. It's a standard thread. This cap will replace it. Available now, sheepschoolshop.com. I'll pop the link up here, have a look. So I'm just going to replace the one on this side with brown teat. So this one is actually the softest one. It's quite soft rubber in that. Very good for starting smaller lambs. And then you have this pink one is the medium, and then a white one as well. So the white one is actually the hardest teat. That's for when the lambs get a bit older. It's quite a hard rubber on it. You should last a bit longer, those ones. Now, so that is 2 teats set up here, running down into a coil. The way I work it is a coil each. I had tried to split the pipe. That one coil would do it. I used a Y piece from a windscreen washer. The pipe was pretty much the same size, but I found the non-return valve struggled. What was happening was, fine when the teats were new, but as the teats wore and one teat was sucking, it was drawing air from the other teat. So I just couldn't get it to work right. So that's why I went down the route of 2 individual coils. Each teat has its own coil as well. Plus, if 2 lambs were sucking on through the one coil at the one time, I'd imagine the temperature, it might be able to transfer enough heat. More hope of it being able to do that with 1 coil per teat. These cups will actually work with any feeder that uses this type of nut. So the shepherdess, yoke to lamb, Volac, I don't know, there's a heap of different feeders. I think the heat wave as well. It'll all work with that cup. It's all a very standard fitting, this one here. So what keeps the water warm? Simple answer is heater for aquarium or a fish tank. It is quite a simple device. I had intended to stock them in my shop, but just didn't get round to it yet. Anyway, I might eventually, but it's a very simple, it's a 300 watt heater for anyone that's interested. So it fits inside the drum that I'm using here. I'll try and show you here. So it just drops in. It's a submersible heater. It just drops inside the tank here, like so. There we go. So the whole secret to the life of that is that it's fully immersed in water, and that it does not ever be switched on without being plugged in or taken out until it has cooled down sufficiently. What happens is, if it's plugged in and really warm and you take it out, it can burn out the elements, so you better really not take it out until it's cooled down. So next job is get this plugged in, we'll mix a bit of milk, get these lambs fed. The next job is mix a bit of milk. We'll get that done next. Now I'm just using Orla's jug here from the house to measure out a litre. Don't tell her, please. So we've expanded the little flock on the feeder here, and you see they're flying on it. They're doing quite well. This is a couple of weeks later. That is lamb number 24. He's done very well. A couple of extra ones here. 24 is the one where mommy got mastitis. So these lambs actually ran out of milk. So I'm just after topping up the bucket. Probably not ideal when you're feeding them ad lib, but it can happen when you're busy. So you'll see these lambs trying to wrestle each other into the teat here. It's just showing the caps actually in action here, where the lambs aren't able to push the other one off. This is it in action. On to the next job. And it's very hard to see what's going on at night, so we're just going to clean it down. Robbie has some old tools here from DSP.
Yeah, switching rods, keep you right.
Good man.
Can I just mention what's in this box?
Yeah, give us a look at them, yeah. You were shopping. What did you buy me?
I bought that in Killadoon store. Would that
Good
be
man,
the word?
yeah. GHS, I agree, I think it's called.
What actually is here is...
Yep.
I bought the boots for the grandchild. The last ones were left in the muck.
Oh, yeah, down at the gates of hell.
Down at the gates of hell.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that video.
Little boot. I'd love wearing them myself, but
yeah.
Years ago we were brought up in teachers and there wasn't many boots.
Yeah, you slept in the drawer, didn't you? Tough times.
It was safer.
Tough times. Yeah.
No, that's the boot. That boot was €32.
Well, I have a bet home with Robbie. Robbie reckons he'll find the old boots in the mucky gap. The young lad Donica left the boots behind him. I have a bet of €1,000 with Robbie that he won't find the boots. He'll never find the boots. But he has to find a pair of them. But €1,000, Robbie.
I tell you, that's the more reason why I'd walk on teeth.
You live below.
Because they were not give me a fucking shilling.
He lived below in the mucky gap now. Robbie has some tools in the back here we are going to use for the job. We're going to try and clean the lens. It's quite high up here to my camera. It's about 24 foot up to the top of that. So it's just a bit high to go up with a ladder. I certainly don't want to go up with a ladder and maybe have a fall now.
You see, we have a bureau here. That's for the cavalman detail the drawer. Close it and then again.
That was the one you slept in when you were a baby,
That's
wasn't
exactly it.
Yeah,
that's my mother's old one.
Yeah. Robbie slept in that middle drawer now, and the young lad slept in the top drawer. It was tough times too, wasn't it, Robbie?
Tough times too. Sometimes you could close the drawer and be a bit of roll.
Oh, you could nip a finger, yeah. Right, we'll get these switching rods out. Now, so what do you use these for, Robbie? Or what were they for?
They were used for pulling fuses.
Right.
That's exactly what they were for. And putting on outs.
So these are fully insulated?
Insulated, yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh, yeah. You could eat your dinner of a live wire.
Right. Wouldn't recommend it now.
See, they clip into each other there. They're very, very handy. You can put a sauce, we call it.
Yeah. So they just clip together like this, isn't it?
Yeah. Push it in. Push it in. Give it a trick again.
Very handy, right? You know the rag here?
Any amount of rags.
Yeah, what's this? Cheers, the lot pair of knickers, are there?
Oh, cheers, if
the occasion Queen's knickers, are there?
But by cheers, there's a wife and she wore them. In case of necessity.
Come on, Robbie. Just trying something. This is what we call now in sheep school experimental work.
Yeah.
This isn't something I've ever done before, but sure, how far wrong can we go?
That's where the fuck is it? See, there's one person going up there on a ladder. Merciful God, you couldn't go up there.
Very high, alright, isn't it?
16, about 18 foot.
No, it's more, because this is 20 foot of rods. Now, this is my little fancy device here. We'll see if this will work now, Robbie.
Why would it not?
You think it's low enough?
Except it's shrunk there from measurement. Oh, my dark rose will lean in that side, you know. Davy's on the ocean green, march along the deep.
I'd say that's not too bad, Robbie. So we're just going to have a look here now at the camera and see how we improved things much. There looks like there was a good bit of dust on that. I can just bring it up here on the phone. A dramatic improvement we're just looking at here now. So here we're looking at the van. What do we see now? There's the pair of boys on the van there now, look. Yeah, that's some improvement now. That's definitely a good improvement now on the lens is nice and clean. Look up at them there and give them a wave, Robbie.
Skelly.
Look up at them
Skelly
there.
optician.
Look up at them there. Give them a wave. Oh, you have glasses on. Good man.
Very good. Right, that's me.
She wears red feathers on her hooly skirt. She wears red feathers on her hooly skirt. She lives on just coconuts and fish from the sea, with a smile on her heart and a love in her eye for me.
Come on, Robbie, you still have it. That's the camera cleaned. That's going to be good help tonight now. We're just kicking off at night. But that is us for today. Good man, thanks for your help, Robbie.
I'm very welcome, you're very welcome. Have to go and cut timber now.
Aye, back to his second job now, this fella. We've plenty of help down here. We've a few students here. So Robbie's taking a back seat now. You're getting some downtime here with after sheep.
Correct and right.
But he's on some firewood. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.